Welcome to Soul Led Lifestyle Podcast with me, Adele McCoy, and my magical guests, giving you the strategy, tools, and activation you'll need to create your soul led life. Hi, and welcome to Soul Led Lifestyle Podcast with me, Adele McCoy. Today we have the wonderful Helen Pinkett on the show. She is an energy and mindset intuitive coach. She helps her clients to release subconscious and conscious issues that are keeping them held back. Helen is passionate about reconnecting people with their inner power and truth to get back in touch with the fire inside so that they can live it up and have an expansive, fun and exciting life. She uses several techniques including Human Design and Astrology to help people to connect with who they came here to be. So sit back, relax, and I shall see you on the other side. Enjoy the show. Hey Helen, how are you?
I am very well, thank you, Adele. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for saying yes and coming on my show. I really
Oh,
appreciate it.
well, it's lovely to be asked. Thank you. It's great to be here.
Oh, you're so welcome. Let's get stuck right in and find out a little bit about you, Helen. Like, what was life like for you growing up?
Wow. As I was growing up, I was actually I was quite a unconfident child, actually. When I think back, I had a lot of fears and really held myself back in a lot of ways. I was really into horses.
Yeah.
I lived in the countryside and I was really into horse riding and used to go out and play in the fields and the woods and things like that. But on the whole, as a person, I think I was quite shy. I didn't really take risks.
Yeah.
Didn't really want to stand out. I just was kind of went along with the crowd, really. I have large chunks of my childhood that I don't remember as well, which is really interesting. When I try and think back, I think, gosh, huge bits of it were missing, but generally quite quite a happy-go-lucky child, I think. But yeah, when I look back, I could definitely see things that may have affected me, that I've brought through into adult life.
Yeah.
That big healing journey that we're on.
Yeah, exactly. So how did you then sort of embark on spirituality and all that it brings? Like, was there sort of a pivotal point in your life? Did something dramatic happen or something, what was it?
Kind of. So I feel like it kind of happened in stages, because when I was a teenager, I lived just with my mother, and she was very much into going to see tarot card readers, and I was very, very interested in all of this. So I was really involved. I had crystals and my own tarot cards, and I was interested in astrology. So that was always just part of my life. That was part of me. And then I got to my 20s, and of course, partying became a big thing. So although the spirituality was in the background, so I remember I was used to bring my tarot cards out like at the end of the night when we'd all been out at the pub or at the club. It was like a bit of a party trick, really. I'd bring start reading people's tarot. But I didn't really sort of take it particularly seriously. So only after I had my son that my spiritual path really reopened and my gifts kind of really kicked in, and I started, I guess, taking this path really seriously. Because after I had my son, I struggled with anxiety and panic attacks, and they were pretty debilitating. And for 2 years, I really, really struggled. I didn't know what was happening to me.
Oh, wow.
And then I reached out after a while and I got some help. And that's when I started looking at all the natural ways of healing myself. So Reiki, energy healing, and everything just kind of started slotting back into place. And again, after I had my daughter, some years later, the journey really kind of deepened. And after that, I kind of went full on into it. And then that's how I'm now doing this as my work, really.
So when you went through your anxiety part of your life, did you find support out there? Like, before you kind of thought, right, I'm going to really delve into the spiritual side, all the Reiki and all of that energetic healing, did you look elsewhere first, or did you kind of know that you had to go to Reiki to get some sort
Yeah.
of?
No, absolutely. I went to the doctors first of
Mhm.
all after, such a long time. So I had no idea. I didn't really know who to talk to, or what was going on, because really I thought I was going mad. I
Mhm.
thought I was completely going mad, and what was going to happen to me and what was going to happen to my son. So this has never been a part of my life before. So I went and reached out to the doctors, and they helped me to kind of get back onto a better level, so I could get through the day without having panic attacks and feeling anxious all the time. And then I started really taking care of myself. So
Yeah.
that's when I started booking in regular massages. So of course, then you start doing those things, and then you realize, okay, a lot of therapists do Reiki as well as massage. Was certainly in the therapist that
Mhm.
I went to. So there was a combination. Okay, I'm going to try Reiki. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try all of these different things.
Yeah.
Um, Huge transformation for me.
Oh
Absolutely
wow.
massive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what did people around you think when you all of a sudden you was like, oh, I'm going to a Reiki session? Do people get it or?
Some people did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
some people definitely. Others, I mean, and still a lot of people around me think I'm completely off my rocker when
Oh,
I
there's
talk
nothing
about
wrong
the
with
kind of
that.
things that I do. I embrace it.
Yeah,
I
so do I.
absolutely embrace it now. I do not want to be that child following the crowd.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person doing things to people please or not being myself. So
Yeah.
if I want to talk about spirits and angels and crystals and all of that kind of stuff, then I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
But as an upshot of doing that, I have attracted the my tribe.
Uh-huh.
So
Exactly.
a lot of people around me are the same kind of thinkers
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and are on the same path. And yes, there are family members and there are people in my world who, you know, have no idea about this kind
Yeah.
of stuff at all, or think it's all completely weird and wacky. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Completely fine with it.
Uh-huh. What
So
did your mum think about it? Did your mum know that when you turned around and said, "Oh, I think I'm going to start doing this work like properly now and really dive into it." Was she happy for you, considering that
yeah.
she used to have her readings done herself? Was she
Oh,
like,
completely. Yeah, because
yeah,
she's trained in up to Reiki master level and
yeah,
all that kind of stuff now as well.
uh-huh,
So yeah, I think that she's I think she's quite proud of me, really, and I think
yeah,
that she's probably knew all along that that was a path that I was going to take.
uh-huh,
So yeah, it's really interesting how I've ended up here, because in my business before I was doing this, I was a social media manager and I was a virtual assistant.
yeah,
I was a wedding planner.
uh-huh,
And then when I was doing the social media work and virtual assistant, I was like, oh, I need to start putting out that I'm doing card readings. So I just slowly kind of interwove it into my business. And
yeah,
then I'd start dropping things.
yeah,
I'm not going to be a VA anymore. I'm not going to be a social media manager anymore. I'm not going to do the weddings anymore, because I'm a multi-passionate person. So
uh-huh, yeah,
like most of us.
yes, exactly,
And then it drops it all out, and now I just focus on the energy healing and coaching, which I'm
uh-huh.
really happy about.
Okay, so you said you started off with doing a few card readings, advertising that that's what you
Mm,
done, and then it just sort
yeah.
of went from there. So at what point did you realize that, you know what, I love being of service to people and giving these readings, but I would love to coach people?
Well, do you know what, Adele? I really just followed my intuition and my
Hmm.
soul's calling.
Yeah.
So through going for, I'd see different types of energy healing. It's through healing myself and meeting people and going to sessions that I would think, gosh, I really need to learn this. So I'm an energy editor and an ease method practitioner, and it was through using those techniques on myself, and I just had that gut feeling, that soul calling. I need to learn this.
Yeah.
So there's several modalities that I'm trained in, and they're things that I literally, my intuition, you've got to go and learn this.
Hmm.
You've got to
Yeah.
go and learn this. You know, no matter how much it cost, I somehow found a way to get trained in that certain modality.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, brilliant. So
So,
what exactly is it you do now then? So like list us, give us the list.
the list. So I combine. So as each person comes to me, my sessions are really intuitively led,
Yeah.
and I use pendulums. I do the card readings. I lead people through what I call activation. So they're meditations to really relax people and to build new neural pathways in the brain. So like hypnosis,
Yeah.
I use EFT tapping, which is
Yeah,
phenomenal.
it's brilliant. I love tapping.
Absolutely amazing. It's just so powerful. I use energy editing and the ease method, which is a wonderful way of working with the chakra system, the energy fields,
Okay.
to
That sounds
really just
interesting.
clear and release. It's so powerful because I went through all of these myself,
Uh-huh.
and through having amazing results, I then incorporate them into my business. I'm also a gamma mindset coach.
Oh,
So I use
wow.
working with the brain waves.
Yeah.
I'm also training in human design. So
Okay.
I'm doing a human design. Actually, I've been into human design for years, but I've just done a 7 month mastermind, and I'm now in a 7 month accreditation so that I can help people in their businesses based on their human
Human
design. I
design.
love
Yeah.
astrology. I just feel like I'm in a huge sweet shop.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And
you
it's
know,
brilliant because you've got such a choice and things that you can give people. And
yeah.
do you teach these down yourself now, or are you just off
Yeah, so at the
service?
moment I work one to one
Mm-hmm.
with people, but I do love to share and teach and uplift
Mm-hmm.
and inspire. So I go on, I'm always popping up on social media doing lives, and
Yeah.
I'm here, there, and everywhere because I really feel like I have so much to share. I love sharing positivity,
Uh-huh.
uplifting people, inspiring, and just really helping people to reconnect back into joy, because I think
Yeah.
fundamentally we're here to have a good time and we're here
Yes,
to
we
feel
are.
good.
Uh-huh.
And by clearing out all of this stuff and healing, we get closer and closer to that innate
Yeah.
our intuition and that fire that's within all of us as well.
Yeah. So on your journey, your spiritual journey,
Mm.
what would you say was the most challenging part?
Oh, let me think. I think really trusting my intuition.
Okay.
So, you know, I think to be honest, actually, there's been many challenging parts, because when we go through the dark night of the soul, when we suddenly don't know who we are, what we're doing, what we're
Yeah.
meant to be here for, there's something bigger and better. We know that we're made for more, but what is it? So
Yeah.
I'd be walking around going, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? And the more I tried to find what my purpose was, the harder it became. It
Yeah.
was
Mm-hmm.
only when I was letting go, when I let go and trusted the process.
They
So
all
that
fell
was
into
that was
place.
really challenging, and
Yeah.
also having to release things, situations, people that are out of alignment.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people find that bit difficult because it's what they're used to. So even though you
Yeah,
know that certain energies and people are not great for you, it's kind of like, I tell people to love them from afar. It doesn't have to be
yeah,
a cutthroat, it just love them from afar, because your energy, you
yeah,
need to have your energy and your power, you need to hold it, and those people are taking too much of it, they're draining your resources, and you can't fully be
yeah,
you with them too close,
yeah,
and it is a difficult thing, especially if I've encountered people that have had like family members and stuff like that that are so close to them. It's like, how can you possibly
mm,
just cut someone off that I have to kind of see all the time and be around, and you know but there's ways of doing things, but yeah, I can totally understand why that would be difficult.
yeah,
um
yeah.
so what advice would you give someone who is sort of embarking on their spiritual journey? Maybe it's someone that is kind of intrigued by it all, but doesn't know enough to sort of know exactly what it is that they want to delve into. What
Mm.
advice, if they came to you and they said, I haven't got a clue, but I really love all this stuff. Where can I start? What can I do?
Yeah, I would really recommend slowing down and just going within. Learning to meditate is really important on this journey, I find, because that is where we really connect to our intuition. So just connecting into yourself and seeing where you are feeling called the most. You
Yeah.
know, could be crystals. You might want to go into oils or angels or follow up working with your spirit guides. And so it's kind of learning to be grounded, learning to listen to that voice. What is it that I really should be doing? Because as we said, when we start on this journey, we're in a sweet shop. There's like
Mhm.
a million different things. I need to learn this. I need to learn this. I need to learn this.
Mhm.
I think it's important to slow down and trust,
Mhm.
that the right teacher is going to appear at the right time. Look out for signs and messages,
Yeah.
because the universe
The
is always
numbers.
sending us things, numbers, angel numbers, all of
Yeah.
that. But things like if say you hear someone mention a book
Mhm.
and then you see it pop up on social media somewhere, and then you hear the author's name mentioned, you
Uh-huh.
know, it's following those kind of messages. That's a
Yeah.
sign. Oh, I've heard about that book 3 times this week now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and read it.
Uh-huh.
And to, to enjoy it and to go with the flow, because you can get quite serious. I don't know about you, if you kind of spent some time being extremely serious. The
Yeah.
spiritual journey, I've got to be serious. It's got to
Yeah.
be like all in.
Uh-huh.
It's only really like in the last couple of like year or so that I've gone, no, it needs to be fun as well. We we,
Exactly.
we
Because
need to
that's where
be
you get the
human.
flow, isn't it? When it's fun, when you're just sort of going with the flow of everything and not
Definitely just
taking life too
enjoying it.
seriously, it's just I kind of see it a bit like we're just kind of put here, and not that life is a game as such, but it's almost like kind of you have to play it like a game, because you get faced with all these different challenges and all this
Mm,
really great stuff and then some really awful stuff, and it's like how you navigate as a human through this life.
completely.
You can do it feeling all pent up and like, oh my gosh, everything's so serious and stressed out, or you can do it with, okay, this has happened and
Yeah, yeah,
it's my journey.
absolutely.
What am I
Yeah,
learning from this? you know
that's it. Yeah,
yeah,
I think,
yeah,
yeah, when you can step back and see it's all part of a bigger picture, and everything that we're going through is that it's here to learn from,
yeah.
but seeing everything through with love. I think
Hmm.
seeing everything with love, but also trying to be in a nice high vibration as well with everything that you do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's having the fun and enjoying the humor, because we're here spiritual beings here having a human experience. So
Hmm.
we need to make the most of it, and we do have to go through these challenges.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great, but definitely the last sort of year or so I've thought, no, need to have the fun bit as well.
Yeah.
It's all very
Hmm.
well being very serious about my healing journey, which is painful and
Hmm.
uncomfortable at times. It's okay to stop and integrate and go off and have a bit of fun as well, and
Yeah.
just bring it all together.
Hmm. So, what is your plan then for the next, say, 5 years? Where do you kind of see yourself? What would you like to accomplish?
Oh, in the next couple of years, wow, I'm going to finish my human design accreditation, because that is absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah.
There's so much layers and layers. So bringing that into my business more along with astrology, because I love connecting people with who they're
Uh huh.
meant to be. So I'm going to continue with my one-to-one coaching and group programs. I also run events. However, and
You're
going
like
back to,
me. That was my background events.
yeah. Um, I worked in in hotels for 20 years before
Oh,
I
wow.
did all of
Yeah.
this. So I carried on running holistic and well-being spiritual fairs.
Yeah.
However, in the past couple of months, I've got that feeling it's not quite in alignment anymore.
Yeah.
So I've got plans to maybe do like a mini festival. I've got a
Yes. Now
vision.
you're talking.
Yes. Well, that's that bringing in that fun element. So
Yeah.
we'll have a day where we're going to do workshops and healing and the stalls with all the
Yeah.
things. But then there's going to be ecstatic dancing and
Yeah.
raving and
Fire
cacao
blows and
ceremonies, and yeah, like
yeah.
turn it into something bigger.
Yeah.
I've got that, I have that fire in my belly. I'm ready
Yes.
for something bigger.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I definitely want to do that. And I think just
Yeah.
more and going with the flow, listening to my intuition and going with what I'm called for. I
Yeah.
kind of, you know, I'm really into the law of attraction and manifesting,
Yeah.
but I don't look massively into the future at the moment. I'm kind of
Uh-huh.
taking it as
One
it
step at a
comes.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that's
And
really fun.
yeah. And what is your, like, when you think about all the people that you've helped and, you know, where you've put your energy and stuff like that, what would you say
Mm,
is kind of like your biggest accomplishments in terms of in your spiritual businesses? Like, where
yeah,
do you feel
yeah,
that you've really kind of exploded
yeah.
and, you know, it's been exactly where you want it to be?
I feel like when I've worked with people on a one-to-one basis and they've just had transformations and they're lit and
Yeah.
they're really excited and just have that just flourish.
Yes.
And that is such an honor to be part of someone's journey. I mean, it's not me doing it, it's the person doing it, but I'm just
Uh-huh.
facilitating that change for them. So that feels amazing to be part
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
I've grown a community called the Inspired Souls, and
Uh-huh.
that's all about connecting like-minded people, and that's really good as well. I love part of my human design and my astrology is about community and connecting people. So to have
Uh-huh.
this community of like-minded souls is feels really good, and it's nice to bring people together from all over the globe into one space.
Yeah, it sounds really
Gonna do
beautiful.
that.
Like you're doing
Yeah.
so much. What is your human design? What is your one? I don't know much about it, but I think I'm a 6'2". I do believe.
Okay,
But
yes. So I'm
yeah.
a generator. So your profile line is a 6'2". I'm a 5'2". So we've both
Okay.
got the two in that case, and the two is the hermit.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but so
Yeah.
the hermit is very intuitive, but
Uh-huh.
we need to go out and we go out into the world and we love socializing and doing our thing, but we've got to have time
Yeah.
to integrate and process. I mean, I love, for as extrovert as I am, I always say I'm an introvert extrovert because I
Yeah.
gotta have that downtime.
Definitely. And I'm one of those people that really enjoy my own company. Some of my friends are like, "Oh no, I hate it when no one's home." I love it. I
So
literally dance around the house. I'm singing. I'm just like really enjoying all the energy of just being on my own. It's really
same.
nice.
Yeah, absolutely. You're at, yeah, typical too. That's
Yeah.
us with G, just really happy in our own
Yeah.
company, just integrating. So we're out learning,
Yeah.
getting all this information, but then we have to integrate and process it all, and we do that by ourselves. So
Uh-huh.
I love I get up early in the morning so that I've got a good hour before my
Uh-huh.
children get up.
That's like
And
me,
that's
yeah.
golden,
Yeah. It
golden time
is.
of day.
You appreciate it so much.
Yeah, people think I'm mad for getting up so early, but I can't tell
No.
you how much I need that hour to
And you
start my
just
day
get
off.
so much more done, I find, you know, because you can just use that time as well after the meditation and the journaling and grounding. It's
All
kind
the
of like,
things.
yeah, that's it, right? Let's get this done before they get up. And, you know,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
makes a difference to your day though. Having a strong morning start, like you
Uh
say,
huh.
doing journaling, meditating, having a boogie round or whatever you like to do, it just makes my day go
Yeah.
so much easier.
Uh huh. And do
Yeah.
you use any of your practices with your children?
Yes, I try to. They're pretty resistant,
Yeah.
but I do catch them doing things with the pendulum
Okay.
when they want to.
Yeah.
They they do make me laugh. So my son's 13 and my daughter's 8, and they go around and go, "Mummy, we are not spiritual and we're not going to be vegan."
Are you vegan?
I am,
Oh, right. So they're like,
yeah.
no, it's not
Like
happening.
they're like, "Nope, we're not doing anything." But then I'll catch them, doing asking the pendulum questions.
Yeah.
And I have done a lot of EFT, a lot of tapping with them in the
Oh, that's
past.
brilliant
And
for children, isn't
yeah,
it?
for
Yeah.
sleeping and things like that, so none of them
Uh-huh.
sex. But my house is full of crystals. I've got sage everywhere.
Uh-huh.
There's very much a lot more part of them probably than what they realise. And I
Yeah.
I know that when they get older,
Yeah.
they'll be
Uh-huh.
all over it.
They'll be all
So
over it. So what
yeah.
is your favorite crystal and why?
Oh, let me show you. So this is pyrite.
Oh
So this is
yes, fool's
also known
gold.
as full gold.
We all
How
love a
big
bit
that
of
is.
pyrite, yeah.
I've actually got, so just, I mean, I have got so many crystals. And something I never thought I'd get into is actually crystal skulls.
Oh, do you know what? I I don't know. I just can't. I can't get on it. I look at them and I think, I don't know. I don't know. There's something that I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
was
what
the
it is.
same. I was exactly the same.
Yeah. And then all of
And
a
then,
sudden you're like, oh, I love them actually.
and now I've got four, and they're sat here on my desk.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've got four quite big ones. Yeah, because I was an angel team teacher mentor for Kyle Gray
Yeah.
for a year, and he did a workshop and got quite into crystal skulls. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm not sure. And then I was like, oh, actually, I am. And then there's a lady who came to my events,
Yeah.
and she used to have a stall, and she used to bring all these skulls and all these lovely crystals, and I just used to go, oh, I'm really drawn to that one, and I'd
Yeah.
pick one up, and I'd be like, oh, yeah. And that was it. Now I have
Uh-huh.
four.
Yeah. Is there a difference then? Like in like the fact that it's a skull? Is there a
There's a
difference in its
whole, yeah, there's a whole bunch of, like, there's a whole lot of history around crystal skulls. And yeah, because they were how they were made. And yeah, they're extremely powerful, and they've all got their own personalities and their own
oh
energetic powers. And yeah, I've got a book which is really in depth about crystal skulls, which I haven't actually properly gone into. But yeah, because they're quite a lot more, quite expensive
yeah.
as well, compared to buying like a crystal the same size.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot more history and energetic energy around
Yeah.
crystal skulls. So
Oh wow. I
yeah.
never knew. I never knew. There
Mm.
you go.
Oh, yeah, crystals are everywhere around here. See, I'm just sat at my desk and I'm like, oh yeah, I can just pick them up.
So which is your favorite? Did you? Oh, the
Um,
pyrite. The pyrite's your
yes, the
favorite. Yes.
pyrite, so fool's gold,
Yeah.
manifesting, calling in
Uh-huh.
money. So I
Yeah.
have a huge chunk of that. I've got a bit in my purse as well,
Uh-huh.
and it's all over the
Exactly.
place
I
just to
do
call
love
in
it.
more abundance.
Uh-huh. Obviously, being a spiritual being, you would be into like grounding and protecting yourself. So,
Yeah.
which three pieces of advice would you give people to ground themselves? Like, if someone needs
Mm.
grounding and protecting, what would you tell them to do? Advise them
Okay,
to do?
so yeah, so first of all, in the morning, visualize yourself in a bubble, and actually, you can do this throughout the day. You can check back in several times through the day. Just close your eyes for a moment, visualize white light coming down and through your crown chakra, through the top of your head, and just see yourself in a bubble. That's filling up that bubble, full of white light. And it
Mhm.
can be that simple. You can just, even if you struggle with visualizing, you can just think it
Yeah.
and just think that you've got this bubble around you. Or you can pimp it up and you can turn it into whatever you want. It could be a suit of armor, or it could be in a rubber ball, whatever you choose. I
Mhm.
like a bubble of white light.
Ah.
So that's a good one for protecting. Calling in your angels, Archangel Michael, to protect you throughout the day. And again, you
Yeah.
can do that throughout. Things that you can do to protect your energy also is to get yourself a piece of selenite. This
Uh-huh.
cleanses the aura, and just run it through your aura throughout the day as well. Epsom salt foot baths,
Oh,
amazing
lovely.
cleansing, clearing.
Yeah.
But if you're feeling ungrounded, and this is what I tell all of my clients when they've been working with me, because we do heavy energy work, is to lie flat for 10 minutes every day.
Mhm.
So lying flat just grounds you, because obviously you get you right down to the ground, gets you down
Yeah.
to the floor, and it just assimilates your energy.
Mhm.
But it also helps you to just surrender
Yeah.
to what is.
Oh,
To just really let
beautiful.
go, just to lie down and just feel the earth supporting you underneath.
Yeah.
And that is a great way. If you're doing it helps if you're doing lots of energy work, because it just helps to balance your system out. But
Yeah.
it's really good for you
Uh-huh.
generally anyway.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks for that, Helen.
You're so
um,
welcome.
so how can everyone find you? Where are you? How can they find you? I'm
um
gonna put the links
Everywhere.
to everything under the post, but if you can share it as well, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a Facebook group. It's a free Facebook group called The Inspired Souls. Everyone's welcome to join that. Post lots of positivity and spiritual, and I pop in and do card pulls and bits and pieces as well. So, or you can add me on Facebook. I have a business page, Helen Pinkett, or I'm on Instagram at _Helen_Pinkett, or I'm on TikTok under the same name, Helen Pinkett Zero. I haven't been on TikTok for long though. I'm just getting to grips with that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But generally, or I've got my website, helenpinkett.com.
Brilliant. Amazing. Well, it's been so good talking with you, Helen. I've had a ball and
Yeah,
learned
it's
so
been so
much,
good.
especially about crystal skulls. I think I'm going to look into that myself now.
Be warned though, once they start calling you, because they
Oh
just call
gosh, they're
you
going to
and
be
then
all
you're like,
around the
oh,
house.
yeah, and everyone gets really weirded out. But they
Yeah.
are there, but they like all of mine have got names. When I was called to them, they
Oh,
gave me
okay.
names, and I was, oh wow, and yeah, now they sit here looking at me whenever I'm at my desk. It's
Yeah. Oh,
amazing.
brilliant.
But I do want to learn a little bit more about all their history and everything. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's a conversation for another time. Thank
Okay,
you so much.
Helen, thank you so much for coming on, and I will catch up
Amazing.
with you soon.
Thank you
Thank
so much for having me.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you
Take care.
guys for tuning in. Until next time, take care.